Welcome everyone to HueFin News. Today is July 17, 2019. Here to give you all the news according to the charts. We're going to talk about Bitcoin paired against the dollar in this article that's trying to tell us, if you read it, what caused the pullback that we've seen recently in Bitcoin. We're going to talk about that. Before I get started, definitely want to remind you all to continue to go ahead and support this channel by subscribing, by liking the videos, and as well as sharing the content, because it's our purpose to show you all that you're able to predict price movement without the confusion. So many other people are utilizing things that are not necessary in determining whether or not a market is going to move higher or lower in price. So we're going to talk about that too as well. Check us out at our website, HueFinancial.com, if you want to get more of our information pertaining to the other altcoins in the space, and to determine if they're going to continue to move higher in price and which altcoin is going to see a massive move higher and or lower. So now let's get on into this article right here on the left side of my screen. It was written about 17 hours ago by an individual named Joseph Young with the title, Bitcoin below $10,000 is down 26.6% in the last 7 days. What caused the pullback? If you guys can tell, the total views for that article is around 66,000 views. So again, it tells you that this title has caused a lot of emphasis, a lot of excitement. So we thought we'll go ahead and give you a breakdown of what we're noticing in this article versus what the price chart is showing us. Okay, so now let's go ahead and look at some of the things highlighted in this article. Now, the recent pullback of Bitcoin is widely believed to be a technical factor that was pushed by sellers who took control of the market once the dominant crypto asset, talking about Bitcoin, went below key support levels at $11,000 and $10,700. So widely believed, I don't know who is the person that gauged the market to come up with that presumption. They saying that it's believed to be a technical factor when they don't go into what that technical factor is, except for support levels and how the sellers took control of the market once the dominant crypto asset, talk about Bitcoin, went below key support levels. Understand that the market is free. It moves and goes about where it wants to go. It wasn't because Bitcoin fell below support of $11,000 and $10,700. That's not the reason. The reason is because the market just lost interest in higher prices. Simply, the market falls. If there's no demand in Bitcoin at those price levels, it will always fall. Understand, the market ran out of gas at those prices and therefore it fell. Plain and simple. It wasn't because of support level. Those are imaginary indications as a gauge for the market participants to see logical areas of buying. That's it. All right. So again, let's go down and see what else we have. Alex Kruger, a global markets analyst, hinted that the criticism of Bitcoin by United States President Donald Trump and Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin could have contributed to the fall. Really? Understand that that is not the reason why Bitcoin fell. Bitcoin has received massive criticism from the world governments as well as influential persons as to its ability to funnel crime and money laundering and how to get away from policy and regulations of the world government. So just because you have a president and a Treasury Secretary speak on Bitcoin is not the reason why Bitcoin fell. I've already told you why Bitcoin fell. And it fell because there wasn't no interest or demand for Bitcoin at those prices. Plain and simple. So this is what Alice goes on to say. When the United States government attacks Bitcoin directly, in what way did the United States government attack Bitcoin? It wasn't a physical attack. Was it a verbal attack? Because Bitcoin has been verbally attacked thousands of times, and it continues to be very reluctant into following down to zero. You can't shake Bitcoin by verbally attacking it. If anything, it gives more credibility to that protocol. The US government is saying that it exploited to support billions of dollars of illicit activity, like the US dollar doesn't do the same thing, based on thin air, like the US dollar isn't backed by anything, and how they are concerned about its speculative nature, and that the crypto echo chamber roars bullish is probably a good time to short. It's only a good time to sell when you notice there's no demand for Bitcoin at that particular price. Most US politicians, unfortunately, seem to be convinced crypto is the realm of money laundering and drug trafficking, when in fact they need to look in their own backyard at the dollar and see the same thing. I bet people use PayPal or Venmo more than Bitcoin to pay for illicit activities. Also, bet most criminals don't even know about Monero, which is a privacy cryptocurrency, yet they all heard about the dollar. Unfortunately, perception trumps facts, which is sort of true, but the market and social media has created a atmosphere and a platform to where all voices can be heard, and that honestly is where many people get their ideas and their notions from, rather than from mainstream media. So again, the change in sentiment around the crypto market, it's because, according to the article, the remarks of President Trump and Secretary Mnuchin, that is not the reason. That's not the change in sentiment. Now, they can use that to spin the market going down, but that's not the reason. As well as bearish technical indicators are considered to be major factors behind Bitcoin's most recent correction. No, it's not. The major factor and only factor is because demand dried up. That's it. Plain and simple. And when demand dries up, you don't need to have news come out to justify why a cryptocurrency went lower in price. It's just because nobody wanted to buy it at that particular price. Not because Trump said something. Not because a technical indicator said it's time to go short. No, because there's no demand at that price. Why President Trump's and Secretary Mnuchin's statements may not be bullish for Bitcoin, but we have two individuals that state otherwise. Barry Silbert and Travis Kling have said that the remarks on Bitcoin by President Trump and Secretary Mnuchin can be acknowledged as a bullish event for the first cryptocurrency. Essentially, this is what they're saying. Bitcoin has gained enough awareness and interest from the mainstream and the broader market of investors to an extent that the president of the largest economy in the world had to say something about its growth. This is what Travis Kling said. The chairman of the Fed and the Treasury Secretary both agree that Bitcoin is a speculative store of value. And that was our last video we did on the 11th of July, talking about Jerome Powell is stating that Bitcoin is a store of value. Both of them, along with the president, agree that Libra and Bitcoin are two very different things. Wildly no bullish. Silbert said that it was a complete and total validation of Bitcoin. This is what he wrote in Twitter. Never imagined I'll be watching the Treasury Secretary of the United States hold a press briefing from the White House in reaction to Bitcoin and cryptocurrency so soon. This new genre of cryptocurrency is going to revolutionize the monetary system. And they know it. So much so that the president, the Treasury Secretary, and even the chairman of the Federal Reserve all came out and spoke on a cryptocurrency called Bitcoin. Amazing. They understand that something has to happen before they lose control of the world reserves status, which is on the horizon. There are many regulatory and supervisory questions regarding Libra, virtual assets, and virtual currencies. Cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin has been exploited, here we go again, to support billions of dollars of illicit activity like cybercrime, tax evasion, extortion, ransomware, illicit drugs, and human trafficking, all of which the dollar does the same thing. Many players have attempted to use cryptocurrencies to fund their malign behavior, such as the dollar too. This is indeed a national security issue when the dollar is a national security issue too. Speaking to Cointelegraph, which is where this article is from, a cryptocurrency trader and technical analyst known to the community as Satoshi Flipper stated that despite volatility in the price of Bitcoin and other major crypto assets, there are many fundamental catalysts for Bitcoin to observe. Several fundamental factors for Bitcoin in the near term include the emergence of trading venues like the Intercontinental Exchange backed and custodial service from major financial institutions such as Fidelity. Those two alone tells you that the viability of Bitcoin is here to stay and that it is not going anywhere. Again, you have another one, fundamental. The block reward halving in May 2020 for Bitcoin, many miners are reportedly intending to hold on to Bitcoin, expecting the block reward halving to impose a positive effect on the medium to long-term trend of Bitcoin, i.e., price is going to continue to move higher. Causing the circulating supply of the asset and the space in which new supply of the asset is sent to exchange decline, Satoshi Flipper went on to clarify. I'll go ahead and leave a link to this article just so you guys go ahead and read more about it. But all in all, I just wanted to talk to you that that's not the reason why the market in Bitcoin went lower. Supply and demand is the force of the market, and it goes where it pleases. All right. So let's go into our analysis for Bitcoin and give you our expectations without causing you any confusion. All right. Now, you guys can tell right here, we did our video for Bitcoin on the 11th of July, and we stated that Bitcoin was going to continue to move lower. We had our price target right here at $10,400. You can see 8.46, 8.5% profit in the market in Bitcoin on that particular analysis. All in all, you could have topped out right here at 20.72% profit. Powerful. You can tell that we didn't confuse you. We don't have anything on our chart confusing our viewers as to our expectations in the market. So again, more indication that you're able to do the same thing. Let's get rid of it and let's talk about what we're noticing in the market for Bitcoin now. Now, as you can tell, Bitcoin is trading far away from that major ascending line that it had to maintain and trade above in order to resemble its strength in the space. It was broken right here on the 14th of July. And it just confirms to you that the market in Bitcoin is still weak. Okay. At best, you're going to get consolidational trading in Bitcoin at best. Looking here at Bitcoin on the 3-hour time frame, again, the market is trying to hold consolidational trading. That range is going to be between $10,000 as a near point resistance area. Ultimately, 10,400 is resistance as well. support. $8,800 is a feasible area of support in Bitcoin, and you can tell right here because this is the last point to where Bitcoin hit resistance and acted as support at that same price. Okay, so we're going to utilize $8,800 in the market in Bitcoin to continue its movement lower. Right now, the market in Bitcoin is just trying to hold consolidation of trading. So we're going to play that in the long term for Bitcoin to continue its movement to the downside. All right. Currently, yes, market is trying to hold some consolidation of trading. We're not going to address that, but rather we're going to anticipate the market in Bitcoin to hit that $8,800 price. It might go a little bit lower towards 8,500. And we're going to hold some resistance right there around $10,000. Okay. Now understand, I did tell you that 10,400 can be also an area of resistance. So we might break out to the upside of this price target to around 10,400. But all in all, we have definitely received a change in tone in the market. Expectation is still for the market in Bitcoin to continue its movement lower. I know I've seen some individuals claim that $7,500 can be another area of support. So anywhere between where we have our price target to $7,500 can be support. But all in all, the gist of this market in Bitcoin is still continued weakness and movement to the downside. Okay. Now we will TP the market in Bitcoin if we see more indications of strength come in at $9,000. If we see strength come in a second time at $9,000, then understand that we will take profits at that price and exit out this price target area. But as for the moment, we're looking for the market in Bitcoin to continue its movement to the downside around $8,800 to be support. Maybe lower if this overall weakness continues to play out. There you go. That's our analysis. That's our expectations. Simple to see and simple to understand. Now, the only thing that you need to do is watch and see how the market plays out for Bitcoin, because we already placed our expectations on the chart. Make sure y'all maintain your profitability, and don't forget to check us out at our website, HueFinancial.com, if you want to get more of our analysis for other altcoins in this space.